Hello, it's a rainy day in lockdown, so I thought I would show you how to make a LEGO Fireball XL5 from the Supermarionation TV series Fireball XL5. Alrighty, so now I've shown you how I took it apart, let me put it back together again for you. So I'm going to talk you through kind of the process. When I designed this particular MOC, I just started putting bricks together, and that's what I do for a lot of my stuff. Not that into designing and planning ahead of time. I like to work with the bricks I've got and try to solve problems as they come up. So the first thing for me was figuring out the front section of Fireball XL5, kind of what the best shape would be for that. And so I went for this sort of domed shape like this. And so we're going to take one of those, and we're going to take one of these, gosh, what is that? It's like a modified brick with 4 studs, one on each side, and it's a 1x1. Just need to put a 1x1 plate on the top of that, and then attach those together. Then for the actual rocket fins kind of sticking out the side of Fireball XL5, we've got 1x2 jumper plates, and we've got some red cheese slopes, and we're just going to do that 4 times. Like that. Got 4 of those. Now we just put each one of those, and it should slot in nice and easily like that. Yes, there you go. Sometimes we're testing the resistance of the bricks a little bit with this, but it's pretty solid because you don't want sort of too many gaps or anything like that. So it just kind of all comes together like that. Ooh. It will hold together. It's funny when you sort of take something apart and put it back together again, you go, oh, that doesn't necessarily work so well. No, that's fine, that's good. That holds together. And there you pretty much have Fireball Junior, the front section of Fireball XL5, like that. It's quite nice. Now we've got to figure out, okay, well, how are we going to attach it to the main body? So I got myself one of these Technic pins, which I don't even know if they make these anymore. I'm pretty sure they do, just not necessarily in this colour. Put a single black round stud on there, and that can attach like that. And then, yes, you guessed it, we're going to start building the main body now, which is obviously just more or less just a round cylinder all the way down. So we've got one of these 2x2 round bricks here, and we're going to take some of these blue round plates and a grey one as well. Put all of those together and put that over the top. So that section looks like that. And then Fireball itself will just slot into place like that on there. And then for the rest of the body, we're going to just put 5, total of 5 of these round bricks together like that. And then slot that there. And there you have it. That's a large bulk of the structure right there. Dead simple. Really, really easy. Now comes the tricky bit, because you've got the engine at the back, you've got the wings, and you've got the fin at the top, all kind of to come together. So you kind of need to create one component part that does all of those things, while also functioning, and also being able to attach onto this main body. So what we're going to do with that is, I found this piece to be a good starting point. It's a, what's that, 3x6, kind of, it's like half of an octagon, I suppose, is how you would describe that. So, and this is where I need to remember exactly how I did it. We're gonna take that, put on a regular 2x3 brick. Then we're going to take one of these bracket pieces here and put that on the front for that to connect onto, and then another one on the back, which is where the thruster will connect to. Then to fill in this gap here, we're going to put on just a regular 1x2 plate. Then we take two jumper plates. One is a 1x2 jumper plate and one is a 2x2 jumper plate. Now, there may be other ways of doing this, and of course all of this has just been created from the parts that I had available, so it's perfectly possible that you find a different way of doing this. And we just put those on like that. And then, just to finish off the look, to try and smooth over some of these studs, I've just got some 1x2 tiles, and I'm going to put those on like so. And that's kind of your key structure right there. That's the bit that everything's going to kind of plug into right there. So we're going to attach the front on like so. And from doing that, you only get a very small gap there. And it still works quite well, actually. So there's that. The problem is if you had anything longer, it sort of wouldn't quite attach properly. So that's sort of why that looks that way. Now we're going to work on the wings. So the wings and the sections that stick out there at the side are probably some of the most distinctive shapes on the ship, and it's really quite simple to do that, to achieve that shape. You get one of these bracket pieces here, which I think would be considered a 1x2 modified plate, but I mean you can see it's a bracket piece. It's got 2x2s on here and then 1x2 up here. And then we're going to take these pieces, which are angled plates, and you just want to make sure you've got a left and a right of those, and put those onto the bracket like that, and then cover that over with, this was the best shape I could really get for such a small scale. You just want to sort of hint at what the colours are. So I've got two 2x2 yellow tiles that go on like that. And there you have it, really. That's the main thing. And we're just going to attach that on here. And there it is, just like that. And so we just do that again, basically. It's really quite simple. It's nice when you get a bit of symmetry, and it's really easy to just sort of replicate things down each side. And except, haha, I fell into my own trap. You need to flip it, so I've put the bracket on this way around, which is exactly the same way it is on the other wing, and of course it needs to go the other way up, so that it flips over and attaches on like so. Now, I'm coming towards the end now. We want to work on that tail fin that's really distinctive and has a sort of long, it's a sort of very long, thin, right-angled triangle, which is tricky when your most of your building base is the top of a totally smooth surface. So that's why these jumper plates are really, really important. So we start off with a 1x6, and you sort of have to start improvising your way around, really. You start off with you've got a 1x6. On the end of that, and I arrived at this by a lot of trial and error, you put a 1x1 on the bottom like that, and then a 1x4 on the bottom like that, so it looks something like that. That's the point when you start to add tiles to smooth over certain sections. So a 1x2 tile over there, then then you want actually a red tile on there, 1x2, and then ooh, that doesn't look right. Why does that not look right? See, it's all trial and error. You've all got to sort of figure out the best way of doing it. Yes, I think that looks right. So it goes on like that. Then, let me see now. You want to do the same again with a 1x3, and the same again with a 1x2. And then take a 1x1 grey plate to finish off. Ooh, try not to drop it on the floor. Very important. The number of times I drop Lego on the floor and can never find it again. My goodness me. Then pop on a tile like that, and a tile like that. And there you have it. That's the tail section right there. You get that kind of long triangular shape right there. And we just attach that onto these jumper plates. It just sits on the top like so. Final section now, just finishing off that tail. Has a very distinctive cone shape. So all we need for this is a 2x2 round plate like that, and a 2x2 cone like that. Just put those together and attach that onto that final bracket at the back. And there you have it. And for a little bit of a flourish at the end there, just a little section of flame to suggest that it's going along. And there you go. Fireball XL5. I think it looks rather splendid. It's made from some relatively simple parts. You know, some of them may be a little harder to get hold of, some of the brackets and things like that, but for the most part it's pretty straightforward. I think it captures the shape, and it's a sort of nice small size. You don't have to go too big with this in order to capture that shape. So that was that. Fireball XL5, made in Lego. Let me know in the comments whether you enjoyed that. I'd be happy to show you some more Lego Gerry Anderson vehicles and various other creations that I've done, and run you through a little step-by-step of how they were created. But otherwise, there you go. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'm sure we will talk soon. Bye-bye.